beautiful YouTube family, welcome back for another video on astrocartography. My name is Kelly and this video is about how you can work with your current astrocartography line to really experience the benefits of the current line you're living on, how to make the most of your current astrocartography line. So for those of you who are new to astrocartography, it is the art of locational astrology, so understanding how different places on the planet are impacting you uniquely through the lens of your natal chart, through the unique configuration of your planetary positions, your codes of creation. How does that then influence your relationship to all of the parts of the planet and the unique conversation you have going on with different places in the world? And I'm going to share 3 tips for how you can make the most of your current line that you're on. And this can apply to any line at all. So on a Mars line, you could be on a moon line, you could be on a Venus line. It's all going to work. So the first step, know the sign that that planet is in for you, right? Let's say you're on a Venus line. The first way you're really going to be able to work with this placement to serve you, to help you in your life, to thrive, the way you're going to get to make the best of it is to really understand the qualities of your Venus placements. Let's say you have Venus in Leo. Venus in Leo is going to be emphasized for you in this place. It's not only Venus, which is, the feminine and relationships and love and sometimes value, assets, money. It's going to be the Leo qualities of Venus. So how you can work with that to really support you is you can make more space in your life to embody those kinds of qualities. How can you embrace your Venus in Leo? A way of doing this, how you dress. And it's such a simple thing to overlook. Really, the way you dress and present yourself and move about the world, I find every single time it really can directly impact the quality of experiences you have and also the kind of people you're bound to interact with or not interact with. And especially with, I'm using the example of Venus and Leo. With the Venus and Leo, it's very much about the aesthetic, right? It's very much about how you allow yourself to be seen and to be adored or even like observed without adoration, but you're being seen nonetheless, right? It's like how you show up, how you express yourself, how you creatively express yourself in your wardrobe, in your colors, in your personality. So whatever your Venus sign is, or right, whatever your planet sign is that you're living on, how can you embody more of those qualities? Let's say you're on a moon line and you have your moon in Pisces, right? So going on the journey of understanding that unique line you have and what those qualities mean for that line can be very helpful for you to make the most of the current line you're living on. Because if, let's say you're doing the opposite, right? Let's say, example, I'm on a moon line right now. So what's really good for me to be doing on this line, I know, is embracing more of my own moon sign qualities. Putting an emphasis on my own emotions and emotional needs and understanding them, but also giving them healthy expression through my unique moon sign flavor. Taking more time to get dressed and consider, am I dressing for my moon right now? Am I allowing myself to show up for my moon sign? Am I going to places that help me feel more safe and secure depending on my moon sign? Because our moon sign can show us a lot of how we feel safe and nurtured and a sense of belonging and care. So look to whatever planet you're on, whatever planet line you're on, what is the sign of that planet for you? And then you could even do some background research, or you could book in a session with an astrologer like myself to help you understand yourself better through these beautiful archetypal lenses of your astrology chart. And then make a devotion to show up as more of that quality of yourself in your day-to-day reality. Now, step 2, what are some other ways you can do that? You can get involved in activities that correlate to the planetary line and or the sign that you have that planet linked with. Right, so let's say you're on a Jupiter line. What are some Jupiter things you could do? Jupiter is all about the higher mind. It can be about studies, applying yourself to studies, especially if it's any kind of research or study that involves philosophy or religion or mysticism or beliefs or expanding your mindset in any kind of way. It wants to think further and beyond. It's the 9th house. It's like, I want to learn. I want to see what's out there. I want to study. I want to understand. So getting involved in studies, taking classes, feeding the inner student within you. Sagittarius can also be very linked to travel. So even making fun, short travels, right? Like deciding you're going to go on an adventure. I have Sun in the 9th house, so I'm a bit of an adventurer. I can make anything an adventure. A trip to the supermarket or the gas station, or to go pick up some chocolate chips to make some cookies. Like, it can be very fun for me to feel like I have an adventure I'm going to go tackle so that I can get some kind of project done, right? So if you're in a Jupiter line, those are some things you want to look for. How can you do more Jupiter-like things? If you're on a North Node line, it's going to be really good for you to focus time and energy on your long-term goals, on your sense of purpose, what really matters to you in life. That's going to be more of focus on these lines, if it's positively aspected. Now, for some, this could be business and career development, but for others, this could be their art or their families or raising children, right? Like, whatever it is that you feel is really akin to your sense of purpose in life is going to be of the utmost essence. So step one, embody the qualities of that line that you're on. Understand, what does my moon in Pisces mean? What does my Venus in Leo mean? How can I dress like that and evoke those qualities within myself? Second step, go do activities that are linked to that planet that you're on, the planetary line you're on. Now, the third step gets a little more nuanced, but it's about understanding, and this does involve more astrology, so hang with me if you're into this. I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible. Something that can be really helpful is understanding what aspects you have, right? So let's say you're on a Mercury line. What I would suggest is you go to astro.com, or my favorite chart that I use for my favorite charting system that I use for my clients is astrocharts.com. And then you can go through and see where Mercury is aspecting different planets in your chart. You might have Mercury squaring Mars, or you might have Mercury trining Venus, right? Look at anytime you see the word Mercury on the aspects list, and it's either trining, sextiling, conjuncting a certain planet, that's showing you that it's going to be a positive relationship between those two planets. Now, if you see opposition or square, it shows that it's providing more of a challenging friction between those two planets. So what I would invite you to do with the planetary line that you're living on is look through your chart and see, okay, what relationships are going on with this planetary line for me and different planets. Let's say you have Mercury squaring Mars, then you're going to know that on this line, if you're on a Mercury line, you're likely going to be a little bit challenged with the more Mars-like energies. Mars has to do with drive, discipline, our masculine energy, our decisive energy. Mars can also be a little bit aggressive. Mercury is all about communicating, right? So you might find that you can have a little bit of a block or a challenge or a shadow side coming up around aggressive communication, or this could be that you're on the giving end of it or also maybe on the receiving end of it, and you have to learn how to have good boundaries and not get engaged in conversations that are very volatile or one-sided, right? It's like being aware that there may be some sense of power play dynamic in your communication because you're on a Mercury line. Whereas if Mercury is forming a positive aspect with Venus, let's say a trine or a conjunction or a sextile, something that's very harmonious, you can utilize the energies of your Venus sign. You know, it's good for you to Mercury, communicate, write, speak, think, talk, network in a Venusian kind of way, whatever your Venus energy is. It's good for you to put a little bit more emphasis on that, put a little more focus on that. So that's the third step, how to make the most of the line you're living on. Understand the aspects. What do you need to look out for that could pose a bit of a challenge? And what can you really work with to your benefit because you have positive aspects? And again, if you're listening to this and you're like, this is totally over my head, but you want to learn more about it, you can book in an astrology reading with me or an astrocartography reading. Astrocartography, we're focusing more on the locations, so understanding where you live or where you're wanting to relocate to, or if you want help understanding places that could be really good for you to relocate to or travel to. That's what astrocartography is designed for. And then the astrology is more so just understanding yourself on a very deep, intimate, meaningful level. Why you are the way you are, and what the gifts and strengths that you carry are, and potential challenges and shadows and how to work with them, and ultimately how to lead your life from a place of authenticity and purpose. I hope this video is helpful. I'll see you on the next video. Okay.